If you go on, obviously my algorithm is a little skewed, but there's so many individual people look buy investment property, whether it's to flip. Most are to flip nowadays, I would say. With rates and stuff, it's just harder and harder to hold them long term. There's still some rentals out there, but there's a large size, good portion of our population here in St. Louis. Question for you real quick. Would you rather be a home buyer, not an investor, just a typical home buyer looking to buy a house? And I know we weren't really active and understand anything in 2008, but would you rather be a home buyer in 2008 or 9 or 10 or now?
Assuming I'm not scared that the sky's falling back then for sure, right? I mean, right now,
not even looking at like what we know now, what happened. Obviously, you would pick them, but just try to put yourself in the shoes of what the hell was going on there.
I bought a house in 11.
Yeah.
So around that time.
And you bought a house, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So you kind of bought a house.
A lot more expensive a couple years ago, but yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know the answer to that. To me, it's, yeah, they're more expensive, but there's a lot of lending institutions that are still lending. You know what I mean? And like trying to get a loan back then when nobody was getting a loan, didn't even understand if real estate was ever going to rebound. That would be pretty scary to me. Yeah, we're paying a little more. So back then we were considered, we went to an oversupply.
Yes. So a couple other stats I want to talk about mom and pop investors, because Lucas and I truly believe, and it's what we do, but we truly believe that the mom and pop investors, or a little bit bigger than mom and pops, we're way closer to mom and pops than these hedge funds. So I would categorize us there. We're in the middle. We're buying a lot more houses than most mom and pops, but not like these hedge funds. Yeah. What? These guys are buying 30,000 houses.
Yeah, we're not like the hedge funds. You're right.
We're closer to the 10 than the 30,000.
Probably. You're right.
Yes. Yeah. So anyways, we're very, very, and truthfully adamant that like we're providing a service to the community by taking distressed houses that aren't livable, making them livable, selling them at market price to people that want to live in and move in, and renting them at market price. Like, we don't set the market. It's way too big of a market. Yeah. If the market's down or dips, we lose money or don't make money. If the market goes up, we make money. It swings with the market. So it's not like we're out there selling something for twice what it's worth.
Right.
We take something not livable, we take it down, we take all the risk, all the rehabs, lose money sometimes, make a lot sometimes, don't make much sometimes, and it all ends up being a service because we're adding houses to the supply. If we don't buy these houses, a homeowner's not buying them, and they're just going to go to shit, and the houses around it are going to lose value every single year because this house is going down in value.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest differences between us and the hedge funds is you look at some of these hedge fund like rental listings. I'm talking about rentals in a second. They look awful. You know what I mean? Crappy pictures, dated house. Whereas if you go to one of our listings or anybody that we know that's mom and pop related, which is a lot, they're beautiful houses and they care about the house and care about their tenants and will provide awesome customer service. So I guarantee a tenant would rather rent to us or someone else in our circle that's considered mom and pop than some of these big hedge funds.
Yeah, and that's how I started the video, Walls, was people have to rent, they want to rent. Wouldn't you rather have your neighbor renting the property than some hedge fund, in New York that doesn't care about it? Like these mom and pops probably care about the community, so they're going to do exactly what you said. They're going to take care of it. So
isn't it crazy though? Like something as important as where you live, you could be renting from someone who owns one house. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Like
or you could be renting from someone who owns 50,000.
I don't know if anything else is like that.
No,
that's crazy.
And then obviously supply issues are driving up prices. We have no control over that. We are adding to that supply. Take away all flippers, in my opinion, in real estate, and house prices go up.
What we have control over and what we do is the amount of so we buy houses that are in the current housing stock, and we need to make sure that is as livable for people as possible. That's what we have. We have a very small portion of what we can control, but we can do our part. Probably the biggest burden right now lies on builders, and they got to get moving. They still have some shell shock from 2008, number one, and then also just the cost to develop with all the costs that we were talking about. And interest rates is just going up, so it's less desirable for builders to build right now. So they're not building as many as we need to.
Yeah, 100%, and especially in some expensive markets like where we're at. I feel like they're doing pretty good. Go freaking down Highway N and all these places, but a lot of markets are more expensive to live. It's probably even less.
Yeah, and there's some markets they don't have the space to build either.
Yeah, luckily in St. Charles we do. Think about the development where Schroeder lives, right across the road. Consort's putting in a huge deal, and then over off N down there with that huge right past Hopewell or whatever. So they're putting a lot of houses right where we live. But that's probably not like that everywhere.
And another place that has like a lot of space is Texas. So
Texas is a big freaking state.
Big geography, and it just has room like on all sides of cities to grow outward. They're the one of like 3 states that are not in undersupply right now. They're about balance. I think they're plus 2%
because they're able to build so
and then
much.
Missouri's like minus 30% of what we need or something crazy like that.
Yeah, be good short for you to do. But yeah, have you seen those videos in Texas? Like what you can afford for 400 grand or 300 grand in Texas is pretty nuts. I don't know how true they are.
What is it? Is it a lot or not?
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's
they're
what I
like what
thought.
you can get for 400 grand. It literally looks like an $800,000 house. It's like just granite, marble everywhere, huge, nice yard.
Yeah, Texas is not overly expensive, I would say, and a big part of that is because they're able to keep up with the supply.
100%. So if real estate investors that stopped flipping, I think house prices would skyrocket.
I agree.
So I need to do a video on that because I think it's contrarian to what most people think.
They would skyrocket because there'd be less on the market.
Way less supply.
And then eventually there'd be a whole bunch of crap supply down the road, and then your equity would disappear overnight.
Yes, people just don't understand that. I think it's a good topic to dig into a little bit here, but also on the short. All right, and then another great one we mentioned a little bit earlier, Lucas, though. The average tenant's credit score is 650, and there are some states, and I know some people, I don't remember if they were talking to CG or family. Some people are like, yeah, we don't even check credit score. Like, it's not a criteria for us. And some states, I think, are outlawing that, which I don't know how much I agree with or not. But anyways, somebody has a low credit score. It's not our fault that the bank won't lend them money, or they will require them to put more money down. They can't afford a house, so then they have to rent. It just goes into the thought process that some people want to, but a lot of people have to rent because of financial constraints that we don't control.
And I think the government, one of the few good things that they've done, I think they changed something that...
You right-wing and son of
they changed something that allowed for rent payments to help build
your credit score,
which is amazing, I think.
I don't know if that was the government or the credit bureaus or if they have anything, regardless. But don't give the government too much credit.
I don't, believe me.
All right, so another note is we receive way more than that, but landlords receive 2 applicants per property minimum, so there's way more people applying than houses available.
Gosh,
it just
that
goes
seems really low for what we do.
I know.
Yeah. I bet ours is higher than
like
that.
10. But some people just take whoever the hell they get as part of it too.
Yeah.
But the point of that stat is there are way more people applying than availability, so we need more availability of rentals. So we need more mom and pops buying. I promise if there's going to be 1 million houses owned, you want mom and pops owning them, not hedge funds. That's the whole point. There needs to be rentals. You want mom and pops, not hedge funds owning them, I think should be the main point. We probably should have shot Taylor's video after this. But a lot of renters are young, and millennials, 12% millennials said they plan to rent forever. Not they won't. They're just saying that now because they're younger. But maybe not. Some millennials are older, but some people don't ever want to own.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is the average age of buying your first house is going to increase.
Correct. I agree with that. A couple more stats, Luke, then we can round it out. Yeah, it's good to be a little quicker one. 7 million homes short. I'm just assuming all Shaner Gainer stats are correct, but 7 million houses short. That is...
Feels like a lot.
Yeah, what is the math on that? Like, you'd have to build... They're already building a ton. Like, you'd have to build another 500, over 500,000 a month that they're building right now, and buying houses is not cheap.
Yeah.
Building houses.
Yeah. And again, that's it fluctuates throughout America. There's places where we're extremely undersupplied, and there's places like Texas, like I said, that about even.
Probably not much places that are oversupplied.
No,
but
I think Texas is one of the. It was Texas and I think Arizona.
That's a good article. I like that. Send me that shit. I like that.
I got that. I can send it to you.
Do a video on too. All right. So in general, share this video with a friend or somebody you know that thinks that real estate investors are the reason the market is high on price, or the reason that we're in the situation we're in, because it is the furthest thing from the truth. We're short on houses. Real estate investors add houses to the supply by building them and or rehabbing them, and we can't control the cost of money, and we can't control inflation. We can't control the actual reason why people are hurting. I like it. That was rounded out. That was tight. That was a tight 25. Or whatever that was, right?
Tight like a tiger.
Tight like a tiger. What's that from?
No idea.
Tight like a tiger. Monty Python?
Ooh, man.
Look it up. Tight like a tiger. I think it's Monty Python, not maybe the Holy Grail.
Ooh, that's a good
Tight
one.
like a tiger.
It's been about 20 years since I watched it.
What is that from?
Tight like a tiger. Go. Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Monty Python, Austin Powers. Hey, similar.
Similar, honestly.
World.
And similar, yes, sense of humor.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button, comment with something you learned, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. We give away more free advice on how to create wealth based on things we actually do every single day than any other channel on YouTube. Make sure to share this with a friend, because our mission is to inspire you to think differently about freedom.